Hi, I'm Becca Otis from Five Lines Pottery in Monroe, Washington.
And I'm Ryan Durbin from RD Ceramics, located in Southgate, Kentucky.
And welcome to Wheel Talk.
Hey guys, we've loved answering all of your questions so far. If you'd like to hear your question on the podcast, please send them to us on Instagram at wheeltalkpodcast or by email to wheeltalkpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks.
Hey guys, so it's Becca, and a little while ago, me and Ryan did a podcast, and then we were just talking afterwards, and I decided to record it without him knowing. And I did tell him after that I did record it, but the reason I didn't tell him was because we were kind of talking about like him doing more like recordings and stuff like that, me interviewing him more, and just because, well, let's be real, I talk a lot. So yeah, anyway, this is that, and it's kind of like a hodgepodge of things. I honestly don't even remember what happened. But I do know that it was good enough for us to record and to share with you guys. So enjoy this next. It's short. It's probably like half an hour. So enjoy Ryan talking and me interviewing him without him knowing. Okay, bye.
Then it becomes a balance of like, what do I want to be making?
Yeah.
Because I was getting into a little bit of a funk in the last week or two where I was like, I don't want to put any handles on these mugs that have been in my damn box forever.
Right.
Because I just don't want to. And I'm like, when I fall back, I'm like, I just want to like throw some planters. And like, that's easy because I know they're going to sell. And I know that it doesn't hurt to have back stock of those. So.
And like that, does that make you like feel good because you're like, it's something easy and you know it's going to sell and it's like.
Still accomplishing something. And I know that I'm getting ahead of. I think the part that I fear or like don't want to get in the situation of is where I'm sold out of something and there's demand for it and I'm set back 2 to 3 weeks because I can't produce it that quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm missing out on an opportunity because I'm not prepared.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be an interesting discussion point, but I'm limited based on because I have a full-time job and I have other obligations that take up a massive amount of time. If I was not this personality, I probably wouldn't be able to grow the business like this as well as it has on the side if I didn't plan ahead and have pieces that could sell and meet the demand when the demand strikes.
Yeah. I don't know. You're freaking crazy. I couldn't do what you do.
Like when those like 2,000 followers joined, I bet a lot of people would have not had any stock in their shop and they would have get bombarded with people like saying, do you sell this? Do you sell this? Or whatever. Yeah. And like right now I had a lot of stuff for sale. So I could just point them like, yes, I have a link in my bio. There's stuff for sale.
Yeah.
And I probably got like 5 or 6 orders from it. I didn't get a huge amount of orders, but I also queued up a bunch of people to see my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think there's more anticipation when that next shop drop happens.
Totally.
Hopefully. But yeah, I want to talk with some artists about that. I don't know how to phrase it, but like when their stuff gets really popular and they have to meet the demand of it and they like their stuff sells out, how do they react to that?
Yeah.
Do they get like invigorated and say like, shit, I'm going to make so much stuff? Or do they get bummed out because a lot of people are saying, oh man, I didn't get what I wanted, or I didn't get something, or do they just like get motivated by that people want my stuff so I can like just keep, I'm crunched just to meet the demand or else they're not going to make sales or.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I was thinking about that the other day and how it would be curious to see what what type of engagement you need to meet the to meet the what am I trying to say? What type of engagement?
Where's the cross-section of demand and engagement with your
output?
Throughput?
Yeah, like your supply, like the supply to the demand. Like what supply do you need to the social media demand that you have? You know, like
I think the engagement definitely. I mean, there are people that probably have 2,000 followers that sell out every single time they post stuff.
That's true.
But there are people that have 80,000 that sell out everything that they have. But they're also making 300 pieces a month, like Pitch Pine.
Yeah.
Or 200 pieces a month or whatever, and they sell out everything. And like the sky's the limit for them. They're only limited by what they can physically make in that time.
Do you think that there's people that are at 80,000, 100,000 followers that don't sell out? Like, is there a threshold to like when you get 50,000 followers, which I'm sure will happen soon, when you get there,
you will sell out?
Like, is there a moment, like, is there an amount of people that you need in order to sell out every time? Like, does John sell out every time? Does Kurt sell out every time? We know that...
I don't think John sells out every single time, but it might take, if you're talking like a day or hours, like I don't think John is to that point. I think he's at like maybe 4 days or something.
He makes a lot of stuff. Like he makes more stuff than most, right?
I mean, I think I saw his pot count or whatever. Was it like 2,700 or something for the year? I mean, that seems kind of low, but that's.
But he's also doing a full-time the Mocha Monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he's not doing wholesale and stuff.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think I would guess there's a threshold. I mean, in my mind, down the road, I see that I'm going to get to a point where I do put stuff up and it sells out. I can also see down the road that what I choose to put up is very limited because I know that I can't sell out all of my basic ass mugs that are small and have just regular glazes.
Yeah.
Because the demand isn't there. I mean, if the demand grows so much for my carb stuff, could I see that my time spent making production stuff goes down significantly because I can sell out my carb stuff and I can only spend time making carb stuff?
Right.
Like, I could see that happening. But also, I probably can't sell out a whole entire booth of carb stuff at a show in person because the price point just doesn't match my market.
Yeah. I was just talking to Isaac, and he was saying that Isaac Shu, and he was saying that he cannot sell his regular stuff on Instagram, and he cannot sell his decal at the farmer's market. Or on Facebook. He literally has two separate...
That's where it, like, limits you, right, of what mediums you sell at. It's like, what do I spend my time doing? Like, I really love selling in person, so... Can I physically keep up with making 2 lines of work that meet both demands?
Yeah.
Like at some point, I would assume that my Instagram is going to get big enough to where I would sell out, maybe.
I hope so.
And I can't keep up with that demand, but could I keep regular, like, everyday stuff on my shop? I mean, Sean and Valeri do that, right? They keep their regular stuff on their shop. On their online shop too, so that it's accessible besides their really fancy stuff.
I feel like all their stuff is fancy, but yes. Oh, you're talking about like
28 cups too.
Yeah, you're talking about like the regular cups that they have. That's his bread and butter, his wholesale through that.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, I would assume that I would probably, but also I'm probably making a lot more than I think I am because I have so much in different shops around town. Like I probably have 600 pieces or 500 pieces in different shops in all my shops.
Wow.
Maybe not that many. It's probably more like 250, but like the last batch of planters and stuff that I took, I mean, I probably took like 80 planters or 80 planters and mini planters or something.
Are the plates selling at all?
I don't know. We'll find out at the end of this month if they sold. I mean, honestly, I'm not hurt by it if they're not selling as much, but because like I haven't made as many in the last probably 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
But I mean, I almost, to keep up with that, like I'm kind of getting to the point where I need to make a lot more shot glasses.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, if we're talking shot glasses and plates, like they wanted shot glasses and I just gave them like 60.
How much do they sell the shot
started
glasses
those
for?
$7 each. And I get 60% of that. So I mean, almost every week I probably need to either be making a batch of like 30 planter trays or, 60 shot glasses to like get them in the workflow to keep up. But also, I mean, I have a whole clay box here that is filled with shot glasses that are sitting up here for my online stuff, and those aren't selling as well. So maybe I should like take some of those quantities off and put them down in my back, downstairs back stock.
Yeah.
That I can pull from.
The small stuff is so weird.
And my planters, like my regular like 3-inch planters or whatever, or 4-inch planters, like those aren't selling online.
They're not?
Stamped ones, those stamped planters like do not sell online. I don't know what's up with it.
Do they sell in person?
Not really. Like they sell at that shop. Like I think I would be perfectly fine. Like I don't mind that. If I could just deliver a bunch of planters to them and they could sell them.
Yeah.
Because I had some planters at my last couple shows that I sold with like mini succulents in them that I took from my succulent collection and potted them, and they sold for like $32 with the pot, the plant, and the tray. And those sold okay, but I mean I only had like 12 of them because I sitting out 25 or 30 planters, it was just a waste of table space. It was taking up too good a real estate to sell.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, I think I went all out with planters this winter. Because I was like, shit, I'm going to make so many, and we're going to sell so many with Codeco.
Yeah.
And they've been so busy that they haven't had the macrame because she just can't keep up. And they're opening a new business for like a restaurant sort of bar business down the street from them with friends. And so they're staying busy. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what happens at I don't know. I mean, I could get overwhelmed when shops get time to like need stuff for Christmas time. And they're like, hey, we need another order of 50 things. Like, can you give us 50? But also, like, I'm fine with being reactive to that. As long as I have Bisqueware, then I can make do and fulfill the orders. But
yeah,
if I had shows like I did last year, I might not be able to keep up. I might not have been able to keep up this year, but I don't know.
Isn't that crazy what's happened this year?
Yeah, there was a woman that called me today it was like a local number. Normally I don't answer my phone just because I get a lot of bullshit calls.
Yeah.
And she called me and was like, hey, I'm so-and-so from Spectrum News 1, which is like a local news station here. And she was like, is this RD Ceramics or the owner of RD Ceramics? Because I have my business on Google for like my home studio.
Oh, yeah.
So she said she saw my Instagram reel, which is funny because there's so many people seeing these reels. Like Instagram must be servicing them so much. So she was like, I saw this and I'm working on a story about art and the pandemic and trying to understand whether like art is playing a role in people like learning new techniques or new things during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. So she's kind of talking to me about that. And she was like, what adjustments have you had to make and stuff like this? So I was kind of talking about the business side where I was like, normally like the biggest impact for me has been like no shows. Like I sold 24 last year. I'm probably going to sell like 10 or 12 this year. So that's a big impact. So I've had to shift sales online and have to learn that. And
those shows that you have sold at have been medium.
Yeah. But also like I was looking at it the other day. I'm almost at the exact sales I was at the end of the year, like right now. Or
really?
Let's see where I'm at. Income. I'm at almost $24,000 of income.
Wow. Good for you.
compared to like 30,000 last year. So I'm like,
That's
I'm
awesome.
on track to exceed that. I mean, I think I set my goal for this year at like 50,000 of income, but with
I think you'll
COVID,
make
like,
it.
Nobody would have expected that I actually sell almost identical to what I sold last year or even exceeded.
Right.
So I was like mentioning that, like, hey, I'm still keeping track with sales and I'm actually selling just as much. And then, teaching has changed. We haven't had teaching. So she's going to be local here for that, which will be interesting. And it was just from like answering a phone call and talking with her for like 7 minutes.
Yeah.
It's funny. Yeah, never slowed down. I've always got so much shit going on.
I just don't want you to burn out. Don't burn out.
I don't know what burnout would look like.
I do.
Like, I get overwhelmed with stuff, but figuring out how to... That's why I have to find things to enjoy my time, whether it's getting outside and like watering and caring for the succulents for like 15 or 20 minutes on the porch. Like, I enjoy that time. Like, I get enjoyment out of that, and that breaks up the day. Or going golfing for like 2.5 hours and not feeling guilty about it.
You should never feel guilty about going golfing.
So, yeah. Well, more like because I could be getting stuff done in the studio. But
I guess. I don't know. I just, yeah. I think burnout, I think the thing for me was, you just gotta, once you start dreading going to the studio, that's burnout.
I haven't got to that.
You haven't gotten to that? That's good.
Sales drive me. Like, getting sales is like awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think if I can get to a point where I'm overrun, I feel like I could make the decision to cut things that aren't as money beneficial for me.
Yeah.
Like, it would be hard, but I think I could. I don't know. I mean, I think I could cut out like teaching a Baker hunt because it's 1 day a week for 8 weeks. Like, getting back those 4.5 hours a week might be good, but am I also isolating myself more because I'm focused so much on staying home and getting work done?
Right.
That being a Baker hunt really helps me.
Well, it's your community too. I mean, it's a community that you've probably come to rely on emotionally, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, I think I could make the decision and say, like, hey, I'm going to have to take my stuff out of your shop or something like that. Like, I think I could do that. But also, like, I want to have my toe in as many waters so that people can, like, the attention is there on my stuff so that I can get the sales, and then I can get to the point where when I am overrun, I can decide where I need to pull back strategically based on what's having the most benefit, or like picking shows that only make sense to do, which I think I've already kind of got to that point. At least last year I was like picking and choosing shows based on what I could handle. But I mean, right now I don't have another show for like 3 weeks, and like, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, we were like, when the cats weren't here, oh my gosh, that was weird. Like, if we did not have cats, I might be more on edge. Like,
really?
I might be more stressed out if I did not have. Yeah.
That's funny.
Just because there's a little bit of like, oh, when you get up in the morning, you're like, where are the cats at?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, there's Marvel. All right, where's Autumn going to be? Or it's like, okay, you get out of the shower, and then you're like, okay, Autumn's going to come in, and she's going to like snuggle on the bath mat. It's like, there's expectations of like when they're going to be there. And then when you go downstairs or whatever, you kind of look in these spots of like where they're normally at. So if they're not there, and you're like, okay, well, I know they're not there, so I don't have any expectation. I can just go do what I need to do without even thinking about like where the cat's at or like are they gonna like meow at me or whatever. So
I definitely need the cats to like when they greet me in the morning. Like when I come into the studio, it's definitely something that I look forward to for sure.
Are there certain ones that come up to you?
Lloyd and Floyd both come to the front door when I walk in. Yeah.
Rachel was showing me this freaking mask.
This under the dining table. Both
you can't see it.
Are eaten off. The cat did this.
The cat bit off the loops of the mask.
Oh my god.
We're probably in her intestines.
I mean, Marvel barfs up string all the time. She freaking like eats those hair ties and shit and like barfs them up.
Marble's the second child.
Marble's my favorite. I don't know. They have moments. Or like coming home from class or whatever, you come upstairs and you're like, well, there's no cats here. There's nobody that's going to greet me. So it's like,
The cats are your kids.
Yeah, they are. The cats and the plants.
Cats and the plants.
Like, if I didn't have plants too, like, what the hell would I spend my morning, like, I get enjoyment from that. Like, that's cool to see progress.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, growing them so much that I'm like, there's potters local to me that are like, oh, those look amazing or whatever. I'm like, hey, do you want some? And I'm like, all right, come over and get some. I'll give you like 10.
Propagate your succulents.
Yeah, I'm like, it's like, am I trying to like spread seeds or something? Like what?
It's funny. Yeah, I wish I liked plants.
Yeah.
I like plants, but I just don't want to take care of them.
See, Tara was saying that. She was like, how the hell do you do that with the plants? It's like, I kill all my plants. How do you do that? I'm
yeah,
like,
me too.
Well, you just gotta like give attention and like, I don't know, maybe it's just intuitive of how you need care for them and whatnot, but...
Or you're a superhuman.
What the hell are you laughing at? Oh, she's playing hide and seek with Marble.
Oh. Look, it almost looks like I had 4 eyes.
Alright. I should probably unload this kiln before I go to sleep. That'll be my late night studio enjoyment before I go to sleep.
I should probably throw some things. Like some mugs.
I wonder if I should post something today. Like, I posted that reel last night after I put... And oh my gosh, this is like the first time that I started going like, what the hell? Because I posted those berry bowls, and they were getting like 0 traction.
Okay.
That's the first time when I'm like, what the hell is going on with these likes?
What are the berry bowls? Or where's the reels? Like, do I go to your page?
You just go to my feed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. By the way, picking freaking music for that shit is so difficult. I feel like I'm on the spot. I'm like, what music should I pick
Agreed.
to go with this?
Oh, okay, so it literally is like TikTok. Oh, you got 909 likes. That's really good.
Yeah. And then the views were... where are the views? 1,100 views? Or 11,000 views? Yeah, picking the freaking music was so hard.
How do you do the reels thing?
It's so easy. You got to do it on the stories part.
Okay.
It's pretty sweet, actually. I was worried that it was going to be a lot of editing, but it wasn't that bad. Yeah. So I can picture that I'm going to do one with, like, you can do a time lapse of throwing, and I would picture, like, breaking down all the steps of throwing, and you could just cut out the little parts where you're, like, cleaning your hands or getting your sponge or whatever, and just do, like, pull, and then, like, do the next snippet, and it's like the next pull, and then it's like the next step where you're like shape, and then you're cleaning, and like that would be an easy 10-second reel or whatever. And then you could show the finished product after while you're like piece the videos together. It's pretty cool.
Oh, and you can edit each clip, which is nice. You can't do that in TikTok. I mean, you can, but it's hard.
It looks like you can put, I'm guessing you can put text and stuff on there, and then, like, I would assume you could probably narrate over it if you want, like TikTok.
Okay, let's see. Yes, you can put text on it, and you can draw on it, and you can do like GIFs and stuff. And you can do it and then save it right away, which is nice, without even posting it. That looks nice. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what that is. We'll see.
And then you could probably do it on Reels and then share it on TikTok.
Yeah, I always just do a story on Instagram and then convert that to a TikTok.
Oh, is TikTok 15-second limit?
It's either 15 or 60 seconds, so I just do 4 stories.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Like, or vice versa, or I'll go from a TikTok and do it to a story. Yeah.
Does TikTok's, like, out-of-the-box video capture, like, not make it easy to save it, or...
I wish that you could save it before you post it. Like, you can do drafts, but sometimes I wish that I could save it and, like, not post it to TikTok and just post it to Instagram.
Yeah, or just, like, save it on your camera roll immediately after doing it.
Right. But I do like that it does save it to the camera roll when you post it. But, yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah, that was actually pretty easy. I was dreading the Reels because I was like, oh, I don't want to be, like, editing and putting all these things together. But if you already have some videos and I like the drag thing. Like, if you pick a video, you can see that it's, like, already in a 15-second increment. And as you drag it, you can see the bar at the very top that's, like, this is your maximum limit. And as you drag it, the bar at the top gets shorter. So you can see, like, how much space you have in.
Yeah.
As you add more of them, you can, like, see that bar filling up. And it's like, okay, this is all you have is, like, 3 seconds left. So you pick this new video, you only have 3 seconds on here.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll have to get into that. All these new things.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna give up on trying to recover that TikTok account because I don't really want to start a new one with a different name that's not my Instagram name. But I don't know. Why'd you just have to do Super Pot Lady instead of 5 Lines Pottery?
I don't know. I feel like it's because I don't know. I guess that I just, like, didn't want it to be associated to my business at the beginning. I was like, this is fun just for stupid stuff. And then I started teaching and doing, like, clips, and I was like, well, fuck. So that's what happened. But I guess that I would imagine that people think that I'm a super, like, pothead, like a weed, for, like, I was on weed TikTok for a while there, and I was like, can I please leave this place?
Weed TikTok?
Yeah, like smokers, like pot smoking TikTok, which is fine. I just don't get high, so it's not my thing. But yeah, I think that somebody even posted recently and was like, well, your name is suggestive, and I'm like, well, I mean, that's been my nickname for...
It's hard that it's so related. It's not like...
Yeah. It's been my nickname for like 6 years, so... It's not something I just came up with. You know?
You wouldn't, like, change your Instagram to that, would you?
No, I don't know. That should have been my freaking email, I'll tell you that, though. It for sure should have been my email.
superpotlady@gmail.com.
Yeah, or even superpotlady@5linespottery.com. If I wanted to pay for an email, which I don't.
Yeah, it's like... How many people are emailing you? Just use a Gmail.
I know, the amount of junk
I feel
mail I
like-
get. Ugh.
I feel like it's not unprofessional to use unless if you're a small business, like I feel like you're not gaining that much professionalism by having at your domain versus
Agreed.
a Gmail account. Like,
If
everybody
it's-
has a Gmail account.
Yeah, like maybe 7 years ago when it wasn't the norm, but now it's the norm.
Yeah. It's not like you have an AOL account or some shit. Or like a fused account or
MSN?
something.
An MSN account.
At msn.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right. I'm going to go.
Cool. P.S. I just recorded everything you just said.
Did you really?
Yeah.
On what?
I started like 30 minutes ago.
What? Oh, because you were like interviewing me.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. That's funny. Little trickaroonie there.
It was good. No, actually, like you started talking, I was like, I feel like this needs to be heard. But I missed the very beginning of it, but that's okay.
I don't even know when the very beginning started.
The very beginning was talking about like your passion, like what your passion was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll just make that an episode.
All right. After hours chats.
Well, that would be fun. After hours, and then we could do, especially with our guests, we can do an after hours.
Ooh, a little bonus segment, little midweek bonus release.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Cool. Okay, go work.
Yeah, I feel like we would get to a point where we could have like a 20-minute episode that gets released every now and then.
Yeah, I think so. Even if it was like
That
really specific, and like even if it was about how to do something specifically, how to make a reels on your Instagram, like even if it's something like that.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. Go work.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to our podcast. We really appreciate it, and we're having so much fun. If you want to follow us individually on Instagram, you totally can. Ryan's Instagram handle is @RDCeramics, and mine is 5 Lines Pottery. That's the number 5. We would love to hear from you, and don't forget to write us a review on our podcast. We read every single one of them, and we totally appreciate them. They help us out an awful lot, and they also put smiles on our faces. I hope you guys continue to listen, and we love you. Thanks. Bye.